2,
Where,
1.
so I guess the other way to preface this is, did like Netanyahu verbally prove everybody right
Yeah.
in like the last week, being like, "Oh God, I did too much."
But
I mean, he's not backing down from
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
But did he? And I don't mean did he by doing too much. I mean, did he by did he realize that really?
I think
I
so.
mean, go ahead.
What the question that I saw being posed today, which I think is a valid question, which also goes back to what we were saying at the outset of this, is that to criticize the Israeli government is not criticizing the Israeli people.
No.
And so where Netanyahu is at
same
right
in
now,
the U.S.
right?
We were,
But in a parliamentary system, is that, you know, somebody, same as, I even fucking forgot about this, like, same as what's happening in England or in the UK right now, where, you know, they have to have a general election and the prime minister can, say, okay, we're going to have it in X amount of months. I think Bibi's coming up on the same thing with Israel and going, you know, his current government is getting near the end of their window, and
so they're going to have
right. So the question is like, so does he protect his government, or does he or does he go like, you know, full in on this and try and get it done before there's another parliamentary vote and he could be voted out, and then the next person comes in and goes ceasefire, you know,
so it's. Oh God, he could go so many ways. He could just be like, "No, wartime. We're going to pause all of that." Could he?
I don't think he has the power to do that.
Thank you. That's what I was saying.
I'd have to do more research. Like, other countries think our political system is fucking crazy. I look at
maybe ours is based on theirs.
It is, but
no,
I mean in theory, but we don't have a system because we don't have a party rule system.
No, which is the leaders here and then everybody else.
Yeah,
that's so
and that's what I keep bringing it up. It's like,
how
that's
do
what
people not just stay in power forever?
Well, because in this case is like, say, take the UK, is that was. I mean, it's mandatory within a certain amount of time that the government has to have new parliamentary elections. And theoretically in the UK is that if that's not done, now King Charles can then direct Parliament to have new elections. So
well, they do. They have a monarchy.
Right, exactly.
We
so
don't.
Yeah, well, and in Israel they have a president.
Do they have?
They don't have a monarch, but they have an executive.
Thank you for explaining it to me in corporate terms.
Yeah. And so, like, the prime minister runs the country, but then they have essentially like an elected monarch who then, if Parliament's not doing their job, they go, no, you need to get on this, you know.
Okay.
But so that's what I think. I could very well be wrong. I mean,
well,
but that's what that's what it was initially said. And that's the way, like, for instance, like France works. Like, they have a prime minister, but they also have a president. So, but the president has more powers in France than, say, like, you know.
Yeah, these are the things that you were talking about before of not listening in civics class. That would be me.
Well, this isn't normally taught in civics class. This is stuff I've had to do, like, deep dives throughout my life on.
Yeah, I'm a 50-year-old.
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, you get it. I mean, same as like when you once asked, like, you know, is there a Speaker of the House in British Parliament? And it's like, it's the guy going, order, order.
Right.
Yeah.
That John Oliver always shows. Order, order. I will not have. I wish I had the power to just tell a bunch of people.
We have somebody like that, somebody who does a similar job in our government, and they're called the parliamentarian. And they're the one, they sit on one of the tables below where the Speaker or where the President of the Senate sits. and
like lower than everybody.
Yeah, like in that first row before the podium, and they will they will either unprompted go like can't do that, or so because like not everybody in the House and the Senate knows all the rules.
This guy does.
Yeah, that's their job.
So
that's the parliamentarian.
He's the historian in Furiosa.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
we didn't even talk about that guy.
I know we didn't. Yeah, we didn't even get
that motherfucker was the man.
No, we can't get back into that.
God,
we're in a whole other show now.
So I'm just saying, like history. This guy had it tattooed on him. Go ahead. So that's the parliamentary what?
That's the parliamentarian in our government.
How come we never hear about this human?
We do when it comes up. So remember when the midway through Trump's term and the Senate's and the Democrat or the Senate Democrats when they had the one vote majority.
Yeah.
So they were trying to get a bunch of shit passed, and it was the parliamentarian that was like, if it's about financial stuff, you can. You just need a one vote majority. But if it's anything non-financial, you have to beat the 60 vote filibuster. That's where the parliamentarian comes in. They have to remember all the bylaws,
all of the minutia.
Yeah,
they're the fucking historian of.
Right. Yeah.
I want to be that person.
No, you don't. You have to keep track of every fucking law that has been ever passed.
I want it all.
In over 200 years?
Want it all.
Yeah.
Want it all. And I will forget it all tomorrow.
At least in like
know
never mind. No, you're gonna get me into like a whole like government thing. Anyway, back to the point at hand.
Just remember the historian with the tattoos.
Yeah. No, I do.
Go ahead.
I do.
Go ahead.
So, but yeah, I mean, like that apparently is the question now. Is that if Netanyahu continues on with this, he risks losing power because.
And when is that again?
I don't know the date,
but it is coming up.
Like within like in the foreseeable future,
12 months.
Considering they're now in like a quagmire.
So okay, 6 months.
And not the giggity quagmire, but you know.
But you know he found his giggity at some point in one of the seasons.
But the interesting part about that is also reflects is that it seems like the going trend in Israel among the populace is they're not for this all-out total war against against the Palestinian people.
Which is what was going to be my question. So, if he is forced, or not forced, but you know, if their constitution, for lack of a better term, says they have to do this, and he's removed, new person, like you just said, can just be like, we're fucking done, everybody come home.
Well, if that's his election mandate. If the people say we're voting for you because you're going to put through a ceasefire, and again with this last round of attacks, which is like you're going to stop killing innocent people.
Yes, and like supply chains.
Well, and the other thing is that I know it's a contentious issue among young liberals in this country.
Yep.
And I don't want to get into the historical minutia. No. But like the thing is that if Biden has enough pressure, he very well could just say, that's it. Like, what you got is what you got from us, and we're not giving you anything else. Like, we're saving all that for Ukraine because...
That was another huge headline, was like, the bombs used to murder all of these children and civilians were U.S. made.
But guess what? Most bombs used to kill people around this world are made here. Are at least made by companies here.
Most of them.
Yeah.
Too bad Boeing doesn't make them all because they fail.
No, don't worry. They're putting bombs in the sky.
Like mine. So we're literally at the point of... Yeah, well, Boeing is putting bombs in the sky. It's like 9/11 all over the world. But...
Or they just, decompress and dry. I mean...
I love it.
Anyway,
pivot there.
That's another fucking rabbit hole, but yeah.
Okay, so we all start.
But yeah, so right. I mean, like.
Well, no. We'll move on.
But it's like in an idea of like this is how like democracy should work. It's that if you think that you have this power, and again, this might be foreshadowing for us here in the United States, and or at least like wink wink to the American public of like, when you think you don't have the power, like if the Israeli people have the power to take a sitting prime minister who's leading a war out of power and put somebody in who will help better secure their place in the Middle East and not continue to what am I trying to say?
They are on the verge of alienating themselves.
But they're also throwing like the whole balance of everything out of whack. Like Iran is amping up their shit. I mean,
which
I hate to say this, but with their president having that crash, at least like puts them on pause for just a brief second.
Thank God.
But as soon as their VP or whoever the dude takes over comes in, and if he's got to pander to the fanatical religious people there,
you mean like Muad'Dib?
Yeah, Muad'Dib.
Lisan al-Gaib.
These nasty Bene Gesserit. So,
Egypt is still my wild card.
Well, and that's the other thing. Don't piss them off.
Well, and there's been lots of disagreements there about letting people in, not letting people in, and then
but they're creating a humanitarian crisis across the entire Middle East.
Right, and we talk about this ad nauseum, but it keeps ramping up, which is why I'm fascinated by this, the election that's coming up.
Yeah.
And what happens with, dead leaders, which Jesus Christ.
And that's what it's like. That's what I don't know. And I think that's why you're hearing these stories coming out now is that the Israeli people might possibly be getting onto that note of, okay, we're possibly about to fuck our entire selves over if we let this one man continue
to
and again, it's
do
like
his holy war.
Yeah, and there should be more Americans speaking to them, particularly those of us that knew what George W. Bush was doing, and should have been like, don't fall into that trap with us.
Well,
don't reelect this man because we just got out of Afghanistan. Like
that was a disaster.
Yeah, but
a disaster.
Terrorist attacks are terrible, and
we did it, right. And George Bush declared victory.
But you don't need to be in perpetual war and also pissing off everyone around, even to where the people now that are still on your side eventually go, we can't do anything about it.
Well, and that's where it's inching.
When like Jordan goes like, fuck, we're out. Like you are totally fucked. Like
it's Jordan is the straw.
Well, I mean, one of them. Like,
is it Uganda?
Well, no. But if Saudi Arabia, but like you said, Egypt. If Egypt goes like, no, we can't handle these people, and if it means that we have to attack you to replace your government to keep these people in, we will do that because we don't have enough for you all.
No, which is why we're doing this.
Right,
our hands are up.
And like,
I asked about Egypt several times. Because they are the closest nuclear superpower.
Yeah. You also got Turkey's close. You have
but Iran. They haven't been... Turkey hasn't been involved yet.
Yeah.
Yet. Egypt is where everything seems to be getting pushed, which is why I am fascinated.
But if every single human being in the Gaza Strip has to leave, that's going to filter out everywhere.